Hey y'all, I hope you're having a good day. So, Acts 25. Here's some things we need to learn from Acts 25. Remember that God's timing is not our timing, all right? Paul has been in prison for well over 2 years. And he just continues to be given opportunity after opportunity to share his testimony about Christ. So God's timing is not our timing. And just like in Acts 24, I mentioned that time in the waiting is not wasted. So don't waste time in the waiting. Continue to share no matter how you are. And the crowd, it's just, Paul had quite a crowd just once again to testify and to share the good news. So he's not wasting any time. And then in the very first part, right off the bat, it reminded me not to get political, but it's like they just would not let Paul go. These people wouldn't let him go. And it reminded me about how a lot of the media, they just won't let Trump go. The Democrats won't let Trump go. So here we go. Let's read Acts 25. It's short and sweet, and I think I've pretty much told you all my notes. So let's see if I can get through this without saying anything. But you know what? The next time I read something, God reveals something else to me. So let's see if he's going to do that in this instance, or because it's been a while since I've read this, or I've already told you what I've learned. So here we go. Acts 25. 3 days after Festus arrived in Caesarea to take over his new responsibilities, he left for Jerusalem, where the leading priest and the other Jewish leaders met with him and made their accusations against Paul. They asked Festus, sound like I'm talking about some southern guy from like Bonanza or something. I don't know, some TV show, Festus, as a favor to transfer Paul to Jerusalem, planning to ambush and to kill him on the way. But Festus replied that Paul was at Caesarea and he himself would be returning there soon. So he said, those of you in authority can return with me. If Paul has done anything wrong, well, you can make your accusations. But you remember, Paul hadn't done anything wrong, y'all. They just want to get him. They just want to get on him. About 8 or 10 days after Festus returned to Caesarea, and on the following day, he took a seat in the court and ordered that Paul be brought in. When Paul arrived, the Jewish leaders from Jerusalem gathered around and made many serious accusations that they couldn't prove. They had no proof. This is just going on feelings instead of facts. And we need to make sure that we are factual and wise in our decisions, not just going on a feeling, which is what it seems that our world, or at least America, has been on a little track. We're divided between feelings and facts about not what's true and what is true. So let's make sure that we're wise and we know the truth before we say anything. The truth, right here, the Bible. All right. Verse 8. Paul denied the charges. I am not guilty of any crime against the Jewish laws or the temple or the Roman government, he said. Then Festus, wanting to please the Jews, asked him, are you willing to go to Jerusalem and stand trial before me there? But Paul replied, listen to this, nope, am not. This is the official Roman court, so I ought to be tried here. You know very well I am not guilty of harming the Jews. If I had done something worthy of death, I don't refuse to die. So it's like if I'm wrong, I need to pay the price. But I'm not wrong. And I'm not going to just cave and be their doormat. Okay? But if I am innocent, no one has the right to turn me over to these men to kill me. I appeal to Caesar. That made me think about Jesus. He did no wrong. He did absolutely no wrong. But they still went ahead and they crucified him. But it was God's plan, y'all. God's plan, because he didn't stay dead. He rose. Hallelujah. Verse 12. Festus conferred with his advisors and then replied, "Very well, you have appealed to Caesar, and Caesar you will go." A few days later, King Agrippa arrived with his sister Bernice to pay the respects to Festus. During their stay of several days, Festus discussed Paul's case with the king. "There is a prisoner here," he told him, "whose case was left for me by Felix. When I was in Jerusalem, the leading priest and Jewish leaders pressed charges against him and asked me to condemn him. I pointed out to them that Roman law does not convict people without a trial. They must be given the opportunity to confront their accusers and defend themselves. You're innocent before proven guilty." What a concept. When his accusers came here for the trial, I didn't delay. I called the case the very next day and ordered Paul brought in. But the accusations made against him weren't any of the crimes that I expected. Instead, it was something about their religion and a dead man named Jesus, who Paul insists is alive. I was at a loss to know how to investigate these things, so I asked him whether he would be willing to stand trial on the charges in Jerusalem. But Paul appealed and to have this case decided by the emperor. So I ordered that to be held in the custody until I could arrange to send him to Caesar. "I'd like to hear the man for myself," Agrippa said. And Festus replied, "You will tomorrow." So y'all, the crowd keeps getting bigger. Paul keeps having the opportunity to speak in front of somebody, to speak in front of some. It would be like if I was to speak to my mayor, which luckily I do, he's a good friend. Then I was go to speak to somebody at our Tallahassee, at our state capitol. And then they took me on to D.C. and I'm in the Congress or something. Then I go and I speak with the vice president. And then I speak with the president. This is how it is. He keeps going from one level to the next, and the crowd keeps growing and growing, with not just in people and numbers, but with the seniority that they have. So God is at work in all things, You know what? And if any of the things that I say do get up to DC, hallelujah. We all need some Jesus, and we all need to be praying for our government officials, no matter what level they're in. You got to pray for them. You got to respect the position, all right? Respect the position. All right, let's go. Verse 23, and there's only 27 verses, so this is a short and sweet chapter. And I told you I was going to be putting some words in there. I tried not to, but here I go. 23. So the next day, Agrippa and Bernice arrived at the auditorium with a great pomp, accompanied by military officials, prominent men of the city. So the crowd kept growing, y'all. Festus ordered that Paul be brought in. Then Festus said, "King Agrippa and all who are here, this is the man whose death is demanded by all Jews, both here and in Jerusalem. But, in my opinion, he has done nothing to deserve death. However, since he appealed his case to the emperor, I have decided to send him to Rome. But what shall I write the emperor? For there is no clear charge against him. So I have brought him here before all of you, and especially you, King Agrippa, so that after we examine him, I might have something to write. For it makes no sense to send a prisoner to the emperor without specifying the charges against him." And y'all, that's it for 25. So get ready for 26, because in 26, we're going to hear some stuff with what Paul's got to share, and we are going to hear some words that the Lord said, that Jesus said, and it's going to be good. So join me back for 26, and I'm sitting here at my mama's in Georgia on the porch, and it's beautiful weather, and so I'm getting ready to go read another one. So you're going to see me in the same outfit. Y'all have a good day. Bye.